So Ryan, big weekend for the youth team with the League Cup final against Mangotsfield at Bridgwater. Something to really look forward to.
Yeah, exactly that. They've worked hard for it. Certainly a good occasion for them. Probably a different test in terms of the environment that they're going to have to play in. Cup final, the pressures that come along with that. But it's all part of their development, and it's probably a big part of their development because to play obviously at a higher level, you've got to deal with pressure, and it is a one-off game where that pressure will certainly be there, and it's whether I guess they have that character mentality as a team to cope with it. But at this moment in time, they've done extremely well. There's no doubt about that. It's been a long season, and they've certainly earned the right to be in the final.
Because, like you mentioned, it has been a long season. They've played a lot of games, but now that there's some silverware to actually go for, do you think that's going to give them that extra boost of energy ahead of the big game?
Yeah, I think the adrenaline, it goes either way. Some people can freeze in big occasions, or some use it as fuel to really drive themselves on. But yeah, I think they've worked so hard for the whole of the season to get to that point. It's you get to the final, you want to win. You don't want to get all that way for no reason. So I'm sure they'll be excited, and that energy, like you said, can get them through to win the trophy.
And obviously there will be that extra to side because you are the holders at Torquay United, so obviously they'll be looking to retain that trophy. They won't want to give it up easily, will they?
Yeah, exactly that. I think we're in a good position this year again in terms of can potentially win the trophy and potentially win the league again. So there's a lot to play for at the end of the season. Like I said, it's been a grueling season for them. They do have a lot of games in terms of other commitments and that as well, and at times that can affect their individual development within football, because they are playing a lot of games. So it's probably something we could possibly look at differently next year, to focus on developing individual players. But no, I mean, it has got to that part of the season where in professional football you've got to play 40 whatever games a season, and towards the end, the business end of the season, it is grueling. You are carrying knocks and injuries, but that's when you develop your character and your personality and that resilience that's needed, that stamina and motivation in vital parts of the season.
It's often said at youth team football, at any club, at any level, that it's not all about results, but there comes a point where actually getting that winning mentality, as may be needed on Saturday, is important, isn't it?
Exactly that. And I think it comes hand in hand, like I said, with developing the players. The future players, even like the 16s, have done extremely well this year, and how we develop players to go into the first team, and what that looks like. And it might be in terms of the environments that they're in. We have to create environments to develop them, mainly their character, their resilience, their personality, to be able to cope, because like I said, there's talent everywhere. There's talent in Torquay, it certainly is, but ultimately, do they have the character and resilience and athleticism to push themselves throughout a whole season? And that's what the elite players have, if you like. Something I mentioned it to you earlier, likes of Dorse, where the gaffer dragged him, I think, from Ireland, and his personality, his background is he hadn't had a massive football upbringing in Ireland, but he can run. He's a tough boy, and he has a lot of character, and he can be resilient through a whole season to win a season and keep he's won some trophies and keep a manager in a job, and he's obviously had a big impact here as well. But that goes to show that talent really is second nature to developing a toughness, really, to be successful, and that's what winning, how you win, is how it's done, really, through a toughness over a prolonged period of time, to be able to cope with adversities and win major moments in games and seasons.
And what are you expecting from Mangotsfield? Because obviously they're the team standing in the way of it, and they will be no pushovers. Yeah,
Dave Hockaday, obviously a well-known figure in football, runs them, and he runs a good programme. It's obviously linked to their university and college, and he's got a very good programme there, obviously way more experience in football than what I'll ever have. And they're a good athletic side, a good team, and he certainly makes them competitive. He's a competitive man, so yeah, it's going to be a game where our boys have to compete. There's no doubt about that, which you have to do every game. You have to earn the right to win a game of football first and foremost, and if you think you can turn up and you're a good football player, first and foremost, you usually get rolled over. You have to earn the right, have that aggression, athleticism, intensity about you, really, to win a game, and then the football comes second.
And finally, Ryan, obviously you're approaching nearly your first anniversary playing more as the under-18s manager. How have you assessed things in the past 12 months?
Been really enjoyable. Obviously, it's say a transition year, let's say, for the football club, but it's it's a position the football club's been in before, and they've bounced back, and it's nothing that the football club can't do. It's an extremely well supported football club. The community in Torquay is massive. It is certainly a close knit community that support the football club and keep the football club going. So I don't feel as if going down a league that's going to affect the football club at all. It's something that it's been probably testing for everybody, fans, staff. But you've got to look up and at the positives. They've managed to keep a good squad together, which helps, and it's a good club. It's a good environment to be working in, and it's an environment I've certainly enjoyed. It's now, maybe getting a couple of those kids, in the next few years into the first team or in around the first team to really boost the community, and I'm sure it's something that the fans would really want to see, local kids playing or being in and around the team.
Well, Ron, thank you for joining us, and we wish you and all the lads, of course, all the very best of luck on Saturday.
Brilliant. Cheers, Tom.